Well, a very, very big welcome back. Episode 2 of the Humble Climb podcast for 2025, and we're back in a big way. Before we kickstart, always thank you, of course, to our sponsors that continue to assist us on this journey, and in particular, obviously, Urban Clean Co. Contact George for all your commercial and residential cleans. And of course, if you've got that big feast and gathering happening, make sure you speak to the guys from Barbecue Brothers, Andrew, to cater all of your next functions that are coming up. But today, we've got an amazing, amazing friend of mine on, Kosta Drak, the owner from 747 Fitness in Dandenong, and he's created a fantastic gym, lifestyle, whole all-in-one, and a community, more importantly, that he's continuing to inspire. And I wanted to get Kosta on for a little while. We've been talking about it for ages, but it's good to finally knuckle it down. So Kosta, welcome on the pod.
Thank you, Dim. Excited, mate. It's been up and back for a while now, but we're finally here.
It's been good. I mean, obviously, we started talking after the Greek festival, I think maybe was that 4 or 5 months back.
Yeah.
We bumped into each other and we got lots of mutuals. But obviously, keeping from afar, obviously, we've both known each other for a little while as to who each other are. But keeping from afar as to what you're doing out of your community in Dandenong is pretty cool. And it's you very rarely see. You always see people that are spruiking something, but if you jump on Kosta's pages, which I strongly recommend, being 747 Fitness.
747 Fitness,
yeah. Which is the Instagram. You'll be able to see quite literally the proofs in the pudding. It's pretty incredible what he's been able to achieve for not just one or two people, but many, many, many chasing their goals and changing their lives in a lot of ways. Has that been sort of one of the biggest factors in you, I guess, starting 747?
I started 747 back in 2011 now, so it's going back 13, 14 years, like we spoke about a bit off air.
Yeah.
And what I wanted to do is just give people the best experience possible, and where people actually feel supported and valued.
I love that.
So that's how I kind of started, because I was training at places, I've been to places, and there was no care factor. So I wanted that to be my biggest difference. So you see the proofs in the pudding, you see the results, is because everyone that comes to us or everyone that gets coached by one of our coaches, we actually care.
I love that.
So we've got a system, we've got a retention system, we've got a system accountability as well, just to really help everyone achieve their goals. And you see all these results is because there's a lot of hard work that goes behind the scenes to get these results. It's not just come in, show up, do the training and go home. It's more than that for us.
I love that. So let's take it all the way back, starting. I always like to delve into someone's childhood upbringing, which area, et cetera, of Melbourne that we're speaking at. I mean, you could be from somewhere else outside of Melbourne, I don't know. But taking it all the way back, what does childhood, early years, and then, I guess, secondary years, post-secondary years, schooling years look like for Kosta Drak?
So, mate, I was actually born in Greece.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I came here when I was 10 years old.
Whereabouts in Greece?
Pardon?
Whereabouts in
I lived in Sparti and I was born in Athens.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah, so I came here when I was 10 years old. Fortunately, I lost my dad in Greece. My mum was from Melbourne. Her whole family is from here. So we moved back here. Moved in with my mum's parents, obviously out in Fairfield, so the northern suburbs, out that way. So yeah, living with pretty much, a single mum, schooling was there. Then we moved to the southeastern suburbs after that. And that's how it kind of looked. Went to school. It was me, my mum, my sister, and obviously I went to school. Did all the bare minimum, but I never liked school. I wanted to do something. I found that, talking about getting to the fitness industry, I fell in love with boxing, kickboxing, at an early age of 15, and I started training.
Yeah.
And then started competing when I was 16.
All right.
Having kickboxing fights, amateurs. Had a good friend of mine, ex-kickboxer. He got me into it. Tashatiris, shout out to him. He kind of got me into the whole nitty-gritty of it all. And
Tash, the elite Greek.
Yeah, elite Greek, mate, the one and only. He pretty much got me into it, put me in the right ways, who should go train with. And that's how the fitness industry kind of all started for me. I was doing soccer, I was doing that, but I think I like being independent, if that kind of makes sense. I wanted to kind of control my own destiny. So when you're doing, boxing, kickboxing, you don't really rely on anybody. You only got yourself. So if I don't go to training, there's no one that will back you up. If you're playing a team sport, you know what I mean? You can always get someone to cover if you, go forward. You get someone to, come back and stuff like that. So I just, from that kind of like what we're talking about, like early stage, I think I like to be very independent. And then I was pretty much, training, fighting. And obviously I did work early stage. I finished school. Obviously I finished at 12. And the only thing that I really loved doing was fitness, like straight out. And then it was my mum. My mum had a partner at the time. And you know what it's like in the Wog family. If you don't go to uni and if you're not a tradie, you're useless. And man, like you name it, like from 18, I think, to like 20, I did, you name anything, bro. I did electrical, I did roof tiling, I did carpet laying, I did painting, I did all these jobs, but I hated it, man. Like I literally hated it.
Yeah.
Like I started electrical apprenticeship because I pretty much did it to, you know, make other people happy, but never made me happy. But the truth is, man, I was in roofs like of houses and I had my phone out looking at fitness articles.
Yeah, right.
Right? That's how much I loved it. And then when I was fighting, obviously when you fight, you got to bring people to shows. You got to put bums on seats.
Yeah.
That's how you get onto fights. And people like Kosta, and I'm like, obviously I was like, guys, I'm fighting. Come down. This is the address. This is the show. Like you got to promote yourself. And I did that. And then as I was doing that, more people were asking me like, I want to train, man. I want to learn how to fight. Like I want to learn how to be fit. I want to learn how to be strong. Like, because obviously, you know, boxing, kickboxing is different aspects of it. People take it from a different way. They take you from a strong perspective. They take it from a self-defense perspective. So there was different parameters that you can kind of go into and target. I said, and me, I'm just like, yeah, man. Like I wanted to show people like what I've learned and what I know.
Yeah.
So it just kind of started from an effect like that. So obviously I started an electrical apprenticeship. I'll finish that. And then I started obviously studying as a young kid. Man, I had nothing. Like nothing's been given to me. Like I've worked for everything that I have. So what I did was I had no money. You can't open up a gym straight away. You know, so what I was training, I was very fortunate. They gave me the room to use on a Saturday morning because I wasn't running anything. And then I was renting out different parks on different nights.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So Tuesday nights, I'll run a boot camp. Tuesday night, I used to run a running club and I would just prepare people for running events. Wednesday, I will do like a boot camp style training. Thursday, I'll do a strength class. Saturday morning, I'll do a boxing, kickboxing, and then privates, one-on-ones will be anywhere. Wherever you live, I'll meet you there. We'll train.
Amazing.
So that's how it all kind of started. And I just wanted to help people as best I can. But I knew deep down, yes, I learned things from doing, but I'm a big believer that you got to be educated to do things as well. So I did the bare minimum, the Cert 3 and 4, which just to get you into the...
And training people.
And, you know, obviously you got to have insurance and stuff like that, you know, but as me and you were speaking, there's a lot of people now that, you know, they just set up an Instagram profile. Do you know what I mean? They set up a YouTube channel and they give advice, but they're not qualified. They've never had any experience in the pudding, which is a bit sickening, and it's a bit, you know, shits on the people that go to university, you know, like what I've done, studied small courses overseas. But that's why I wanted to be different, actually learn, implement. So I did that. And then after that, I was like, okay, cool. What am I really interested in from an educational perspective? So I was very big on strength and conditioning, functional movement screens, just to watch how people move. So I just went out there and I did courses that interest me. So I went out there and I did, you know, 3-4 short courses for strength and conditioning. I did my functional movement screen. I did body composition, small courses as well. And then, you know, that's me like working, studying. But at the same time, you know, I was 20 years old and I pretty much took the leap of faith and, you know, go into a venue and then obviously you have to pay rent and stuff like that. So what I did was, and I went to university as well. So I took a job stacking shelves at Woolworths and Coles, and I did that off my off-peak time. So I did that from when I finished the gym at 9 p.m. So I'll start there at 10 and I'll finish at 3, 4 in the morning.
Wow.
And then I'll go home and I'll sleep for 4 or 5 hours. And then I'll go to Melbourne Uni, actually intern for them with the high performance stuff in the morning. And then I did the Diploma of Sports Development course after that, the classroom. And then I'll go back to the gym at night, 3, 4, work till 9, and then go back to do that because at the end of the day, you got to make ends meet, as you know, to pay the bill. So for 4 or 5 years, I was doing all that to pay my rent, pay my insurance, you know, pay all the running costs when it comes with it, domain names, up and running and stuff like that.
Amazing.
So yeah, man, it's been a hard grind, but I love it, man. Like I love helping people. I love changing people's life. Like for me, it's about giving that care factor, and I think that's what stands out, in our community and what we do. And like we said, you create these communities because we genuinely care and we want to give people the best experience possible that walk through our doors. That's our motto.
So when you were 20, 21,
Yeah.
you enter into a release at
the gym that
you're in, and you've been there this whole time at the same premises.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, starting out, correct.
So then the first 4 or 5 years, you're studying, you're doing internship, you've got a lease, you're still stacking shelves at the supermarkets.
Yes.
While you're still building up the business. Incredible. Correct. Wow.
Yeah. So I did all that. Like I said, I worked at Coles and Woolworths just
That's
to
hustle.
pay everything. But that's all a lot of people are not willing to do that. They just want the easy road, unfortunately, these days.
That is super, super hustle. I love that. And obviously now, you're definitely reaping the rewards to a lot of degree, because I think that you've got that, you've got a beautiful, beautiful area and a beautiful community which people are coming through. Well, what made you choose Dandenong, out of curiosity?
So I used to fight. My trainer, where I was fighting, was from Dandenong.
Okay.
So they moved to a bigger facility, and then there was space for there where they were. So I took over the area as well, like the space, and it just made sense. You know what I mean? And then ever since then, I just didn't know any different. If you know what I mean, starting from 20 years old, just been there, and I've stayed ever since.
I love that.
And now I've realised that it's very central as well. You can hit it from different areas. The way we've done, like the way we've got our programs, and as you can see, we're niched with professional athletes. Like, people travel an hour and a half to come to me.
Yeah, wow.
So for me, there's been 2-3 months that we actually don't train anyone from the Dandenong area that live there. They come minimum 10 Ks away for us.
Wow.
Yeah. So when people say location, it is to a degree, but when you've got a good product, people travel.
Yeah, for sure. What's been some of the challenges at the moment, as it currently states, as being an owner a business owner in the gym fitness space?
What's been a struggle?
All the challenges as someone.
Look, there are always challenges. There's always the guy up the road that opens up. Do you know what I mean? There's other people that come in. There's other people that undercut you. There are other people that try to steal your clients. Like, that all comes with it.
Yeah.
It's just part of the game, I suppose.
Yeah.
And the way we do it's all about customer service and give people the best experience. But that's probably the biggest struggle that I have faced, really. But at the same time, it's like, I stay true to my values and be genuine of giving people a really good experience, and they see the community and what it's all about. There's no fake shit. There's no snakes, that work for us. There's no bullshit upselling, you know what I mean? When just trying to make more money out of the person. We actually want to give the person what they need.
Yeah.
And that's it. You know what I mean? There's no point of, we've got a rule with all their staff. No one needs to be doing 6 times a week personal training. There is no need for that. First of all, it's not sustainable. And number 2, you should have a bit of accountability to do things by yourself as well.
Yeah, I love that.
So that's how we kind of got it structured out.
I love that. How much has education played a part in you? Because I feel like you're constantly of the approach of trying to learn, instill, get better, train better, I guess, for clients, but also for your own personal knowledge. How much has this whole education part played a massive role in where you're at today?
Huge, man. Like, I went to Germany for football because I do SNC for football clubs as well. We're very big in the soccer, and I love the community, as you can see. Being part of team sport is one of my biggest passions, and helping. So, man, like, I went to Germany with a football academy. I pretty much paid my way there. I spent time at Hertha Berlin, Ajax, with some of the support staff, watching how they do things. Who else would, do that? People say, well, why that? You're spending so much money. You're helping out an academy. And it's like, it's not about that. It's like watching what the top people do and what can I bring back to make my clients and my service better.
Yeah, I love that.
What can I bring to the table? So it's like, how can you keep evolving? And unfortunately, you got to look, elsewhere. You got to look who are the highest people, out there? Who's doing the best? Which academies are doing good. So then I saw that. I went there. I spent, 2.5 weeks all up? Man, I bought back shitloads of stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm still in contact with the high performance people to this day. We share ideas. Hey man, what do you think of this? What do you guys do 24 hours after a game? What do you guys do for this? How do you load this? How do you load that? And then we bounce ideas off each other.
I love that.
And that's one of the biggest, like you said, education. It's like you gotta see what other people are doing that are successful as well, and implement that. And then obviously that helps me educate my staff and implement that. And I just try to surround myself with the people that are working or at the highest level.
Success leaves clues is something that we've always tried to adapt in a lot of ways. And there's a thing called, I guess, hopping, but then there's also understanding and also giving value, I think, more than anything.
100%. Like I've done internships here as well, where I've actually gone into the place and actually worked for the people for 10 months for free, just to see what's going on. You know what I mean? Get my experience, get my hands dirty.
Yeah.
Early days, just, and if anyone's listening, it's like, go do the shit so you can get the good later on.
I love that.
You know what I mean? Like you can't just sit there and just, wish and things are going to happen. Go out there, make it happen. You know what I mean? Go learn. Go see what people are doing. Ask questions. Why this, why that? But I just feel like, people are not really getting out there now. It's all behind the keyboard.
Yeah. You would have made a very good real estate agent.
Pardon?
You would have made a very good real estate agent. And I truly mean that because it's incredible to see someone that actually, I think as business people sometimes, and this is probably more of a business podcast to a degree, today's one, but I think as business people, also, we like to reap the rewards, but don't necessarily like to super invest, not just money, but time and learning and stuff like that. And a lot of the times we think we know it all. But I think one thing I've always gone by is that there's always someone doing something better than me that I need to craft better, and sharpening the axe as such and getting better at what you do. So I love that you're such of an approach that they've got so much still that I can learn better and implement better for the value of my clients, which now, going to sound really silly, but makes sense based off the socials that we get to see of the true results of some of the people that you've had under your roof at 747. Makes sense why they're doing so well.
Yeah, it's right. And that's just, like I said, I've been in the fitness industry for 15 years now. Like I wouldn't know what else to do. Starting off from a young age, but that's just from experience, you know what I mean? That's from proof in the pudding. If someone gets a result, I spoke to one of my staff members this morning, if someone gets a result, so cool, he got a result. Let's backdate. Let's see what he did. Let's see what he changed, because we're going to meet someone with a similar situation.
Yeah.
So we've got it there. They've come in from this background. They've had this happen to them. They've had this. And we can pretty much plug and play, right, a similar approach to this person that this person has had. So that's how we're getting the results, because we've had so much, so many people come through the doors and so many success stories. But now it's like, we've transformed more than 2,000 lives.
Yeah.
And so there's people that have come there and we know, okay, cool, you remind me of this person, you remind me of that person, you've got a similar background. And what they've done to overcome that, we help them with these tools and we kind of fast track their journey.
How much of your job as not just a coach or trainer, as a friend, etc., how much of your has become psychological for some of these people? And because I imagine personally that I've had heart-to-heart conversations with Troy from Bam Bam Boxing that I've talked to you about off air. But how much is it a counselor? That's the wrong way to put it. But how much do you become more than just a training place?
It is. It's all mental. And I think ever since COVID as well, we've seen a lot of people's mental health derail. That's why I'm so big on community. I do a lot of social events. I get people together. Everybody wants a sense of belonging. So we want to provide that safe environment when people feel valued and heard. And as a coach, it's not just about coaching the person, then going home and sending a text message, see you tomorrow at 8:30. It's more than that. From what we do, as a coach, you're their coach, you're their friend, you're their mentor, and you are their psychologist.
Yeah.
In a way. And, we've got to dive in deeper from experience, what they tell you, and we've got to give the solutions to their problems.
Is there one story in particular that has, not stuck with you, but I'm sure you're proud of many of your clients, and a majority of them that have changed, but is there one story in particular for you that I guess you can really look back and think, shit, like that was amazing, like this person went through XYZ, and now they are where they are?
Yeah, man, we've got a lot of stories and they're all very similar, you know what I mean? People saying without this, I had no purpose in life. I didn't know who I was depressed. I was in my room for 4 or 5 days. I had no meaning of my life. Do you know what I mean? You hear that, they go, you've actually making me wake up and actually come somewhere where I'm so happy and I actually feel valued. You know what I mean? I actually have something to look forward to every day. I don't have to sit inside my room and literally do nothing. And for us, like, not just me, as my team, like, that's what we want to do. We want to empower people to live a better quality of life.
Yeah.
Because that's first. The results come second. If you're better mentally, that outweighs the physical goals. And we say that to all our clients, you know, that come through. Like, if you sleep better, if you've got more energy, if you have a better quality of life, if you are feeling less anxious, you know, you've dosed down on your depression tablets and you haven't lost any weight, for me, that is number one. And that's what we try to educate the people on, is the mental benefits outweigh the physical benefits. And you get that right, your quality of life's better. And the truth is, when all these things work, you'll lose the weight.
Yeah.
So that's what we're very, very, very big on that. And then we've had a lot of similar stories, and ever since COVID, like I told you before, people have their mental health has derailed a fair bit.
Yeah. What's how are you seeing, as someone prominent in the fitness industry, where are you seeing the mental health journey of people in general at the moment?
Yeah, look, I think I've seen a lot of, you know, because we do a lot of consultations, we see their goals, what they're struggling with, and you know, the common theme that I've seen lately is depression, anxiety. It's one of the biggest ones. Pretty much, I reckon 1 in 2, 1 in 3 that come to me are pretty much the same. Say that struggling to go to work, struggling to fall asleep, all that kind of things. Stresses of life, inflation, feeling not worthy. That's where it's kind of going. So if you provide a good platform, and I think it's not really health and fitness anymore. I think it's health and wellness.
Yeah.
I think the fitness side's, you know, it's pretty much getting taken out of it in a way. It's just about doing more things around meditation, breath work. You know, if you asked me 5 years ago, I would never talk to you like this.
Yeah.
I would never say that. Like, it's all about being fit. It's all about being healthy. But now it's just all about learning how to control your breathing, you know, learning, you know, how to stay calm and, you know, learn how to, you know, pretty much fight those mental demons that people are having.
I love that. Oh, I don't love that, but I love that the approach that obviously you've changed, well, not changed, but how your line of thinking changes in over a couple of years is obviously incredible. I see, and I'm just talking off air, as someone that I'm sure, you know, we both know our fair share of people, and we see a lot of these personal, I feel like there's so many people that are personal trainers nowadays, right? And which is cool, which is fine.
No, it's not.
But well, I guess everyone's got to earn their crust somehow. But what's been the biggest challenges as someone in your industry? I mean, like, I know in my industry we've got certain challenges. In your industry, you know, whether it be, you know, people on social media or whatever it might be that is pushing something. What's been the biggest issue that you think you've encountered in the fitness industry as a coach nowadays, or as someone that's just genuinely passionate about fitness?
Look, what I've seen is, look, man, like I said to you, anybody can start up an Instagram page, right? And they can put a tip in there, or they can put a fact, or they can say something. But the thing is, people now looking, like, you scroll through your phone, you see a reel, you're like, oh, I didn't know that. But it's like, you don't even know where this stat's coming from. You don't know if it's even true. So people are doing that for clickbait.
Yeah.
And they get people to their page, they get more shares, but it's all bullshit. But if you only watch the first 10 seconds, you'll just take that fact, you know what I mean?
Run with it.
And run with it. You know, it could be like, I saw another one the other day, eggs are bad for you. And then someone's telling me this in the gym, I saw a video. I'm like, did you watch the whole video? You know what I mean? So people do all that clickbait stuff, they put things wrong stuff to get more reach, to get more that. So what people are doing now, it's like they're also just starting a page, or, you know, to get their thing, and they're doing it, you know, to sell something at the back of it, or there's an approach out there that's not actually doing it from the right place of heart.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense. And then just people are just not looking at the source. You put that person's name on Google to have a look what they've done or where they've been, you can't find anything on them.
I love that.
I think people out there need to really understand, or where they're getting their knowledge from, and who they're actually listening to.
I love that. there's numerous stories on your success stories on your page. And again, please, I implore you guys that if you're listening to go and check it out. There's numerous stories on your page of people who have not lost, 5, 10 kilos. We're talking 40, 50, 60, 75,
Yeah.
like huge numbers. Why are you the go-to guy for that?
We keep people on board. We keep people accountable. We keep people motivated. We call people out on their bullshit. You know what I mean? Do you want to go back to your old ways? Do you really want to make a change? You know what I mean? And that's what I'm saying. You're becoming a psychologist. You got to make him think. You know what I mean? Actually get him in the door. Like how better do you feel now? And once you go through that 1 year mark, it's part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
It takes 30 days to form a habit. So once people break through that 30 days, it's all good in a way because they've already got the momentum. It's part of their routine. They're going for it. You know what I mean? But that's just with everything. That's everything in life. You know what I mean? You can't put your alarm on for 2 days and expect to wake up the third day at the same time. It's just not going to work.
People with like weight loss is an example, right? So I can give you an example. When I got back from Greece 3 or so years ago, I was convinced I was going to go for the gastric bypass. I was convinced. Went and saw 2 specialists. I did the whole thing, and I'm actually really glad I never went ahead with it, to be upfront with you. But I actually don't even know if I told my partner Sophia that. But anyway, but I was convinced. I was convinced that I was going to do it. It was about 3 years ago when I got back from Greece because I thought there was no other option, and it felt easy. And again, there's no disrespect to people that have got it done, so I don't mean that in any way. But do you feel in a lot of ways, for some people that obviously surgically they have to have it done, right? And I can understand that. But has that become, I guess, more prevalent or an easier option in some respects for some people versus the traditional route?
Yeah, look, a lot of people, as we know, and it's just life, people want a quick fix in a way. Even when I sit down with consults and they go to me, I want to lose 15 kilos in 1 month. I'm like, save your money, go somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because it's not going to be a lifestyle change.
Yeah.
It's these quick fixes, and that's how the big pharmaceutical places make their money. Yeah, just on things like that. They want people to feel like that they need to do a quick fix. But the truth is, there is no magic bullet. You know what I mean? Because I know people that have done it and they've put the weight back on in 2 years' time, if not double.
Yeah, wow.
Because people want that quick fix, but they're not willing to work for it after. If you're going to do this and you want to do that, you got to change your lifestyle. So if anything, you should be doing the work first, do that, take that route second, and you got to make sure that you know what you're doing in terms of your training and nutrition after that quick fix.
As someone that's had numerous success stories, what is a sustainable level of weight loss per month? Not just so much to keep it off, but to then build into a healthy thing. Because I know myself, and again, I can only say as someone who's a bit of a bigger boy, but I know myself and it's traditionally come up before I go to Greece, where it's like you got 6 weeks to go, and I'm like, 6 weeks, 20 kilos, is it possible? Right? And it's not, right? Traditionally, it's just not. You lose the first couple in water weight and you think you're off to a flying start. This is easy, but it's not the case. And as I said, I've done the yo-yos, so it's all good. So I know how it works. But what's a sustainable level?
We'll look at 0.5.
A month?
A week.
A week. 0.5 a week.
Yeah, so 2 kilos a month.
Yeah.
You'll get more and you go more aggressive on a deficit, happy days. But then again, you can lose that 0.5. Obviously, if you're starting out, the first month, you'll lose 5, 6 kilos, no problem. But it's when it gets hard, that's when you got to look at that. You know what I mean? And when you start to plateau, then you got to look at different diet plans. Because if you're, if I've seen people go on stupid diets, 1,200, 1,000 calories, challenges, this, that, you can't sustain that lifestyle. All you're going to be doing is like having no energy. The only person that's winning out of this is the person that's getting the testimonial, right, to make themselves look better. But what they've done is they kill the person. It's the worst thing to do. There is no lifestyle. You're going to come in 4 or 5 weeks, you can't lift the weight because you've got no energy. Yeah. You're depleted. When you deplete someone so much, what's so good about that? And they're trying to fight it, like they're fighting that fight in their head. And then what's going to happen? One day they're going to crack and that's going to blow up to 4,000 calories in one day because they can't sustain it. And I've seen that people, gyms, challenges, I'm sitting there and people send me their meal plan. I saw a lady the other day, 950 calories, 950. And they wanted to do HIIT training 5 days a week. You're killing the person, not just killing them mentally and having no energy. It's their body. That's when the body breaks down. when there's no right fuel in you? How can you train to maximize it? How can you feel good? You can't.
Yeah.
And that's why I said these mental benefits before outweigh the results. So that needs to come first. Instead of putting people aggressive to make, oh, look at my video, look. And if you look at my success story that I put up, it doesn't say really 4 weeks, 3 weeks. It's 2 years, 3 years, 1 year, because it's a lifestyle change. And not just from that side, isn't like we were talking about this, when I train athletes, getting someone a 20-meter sprint and taking 0.4, 0.5 off their time, that's 2 years worth of work. You look at Usain Bolt, to take 1 second, 4 years. What do you think is going to happen overnight? Nothing happens overnight. You got to work for it. You got to put a plan in place and you got to stick to it. And that's when that's when the mindset comes into it. With us, it's like, keeping people motivated, keeping people going and making sure always relying back to their why they first walked into us.
Yeah.
And then when we know that and we dive in deeper, and that's why we've got that experience and we've got that care factor to understand the person, to give them the best driving force we can.
Super, super, super informative. I love this. This is actually going a lot better than I'm really, really just pleased because you're a ball of insight and it's and your experience is incredible. 747 moving forward, I mean, would you ever open up a second location?
I'm not down to say no, but I'll always stick to my true values and everything. I wouldn't open something up just for the sake of opening, just to make money in a way. And if the people that want to be bought in and the coaches we'll have to be on the same page.
Yeah, I love that.
I don't want to change the way we operate. I don't want to lose that family feel that we have. I don't want to lose the community.
Yeah.
Because I've seen it. People expand and then everything goes out the window. Everything comes about chasing dollars.
Yeah.
You chase dollars, people can smell that. You can smell a snake. We don't want to be like that. We want to keep it small. We want to make sure that we can serve the people at our best of our ability and give people the best experience that they've ever had.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And give people what they need.
I love that. I love that. Players such as the Melbourne Victory boys, so Geordie Valadon, I think.
Geordie,
Nishan, Velapele, and most recently, I could be wrong, Nico Vergos.
Yes.
Coming down to 747 and training out of there. What makes players like them attractive to come to 747 when hypothetically they could be getting their appropriate S&C at the club, as an example?
See, for me, we talked about on the weight loss side of stuff, and that's how I first started. But then obviously when I went to Germany and I looked at the S&C stuff and I've done, multiple courses on S&C, upskilling, interstate. Like one of my biggest passion is junior athlete development.
Okay.
And is and getting the next generation in to be good. To be honest, I'm not a big fan of coaching people that have already made it. I rather make a big impact from a junior age because I can mold them, I can teach them the right stuff. I can teach them the right nutrition. I can teach them the right warm-up protocols. And most importantly, I can see them grow up from a young kid into an adult. And it's more than just training. Nishan Velapele has been with me since he was 14 years old.
Wow.
14 years old. I've seen him go from FTS, as a kid. I've seen him play at Bentley Greens. I've seen through him being in the NYL team of Melbourne Victory. I've seen everything. We've been on this journey together, week in, week out. You know what I mean? And that's what makes it special because we've ridden the highs and the lows together. We've ridden through injuries. We've got him back. And that's what I'm saying. It's more of a mental thing. Geordie, when he came to me, he tore his hamstring 8 centimeters. Yeah. He was out, came back. We did a really good preseason. He hasn't missed a game this year, pretty much playing the full 90 as a 6, running like a donkey. You know what I mean? Playing every game. I've got him back to 100% and, and giving him the best preseason he's ever had in his life. And for me, that speaks volume. Like Will Wilson, Central Coast Mariners that I've had numerous boys, and I've had him, I've trained him back when I was running a high school program. I've seen him, turn into a great young adult, bringing him from Melbourne, now living by himself on the coast. You know what I mean? That, we speak regularly. I speak with all my clients, but, my athletes more, because I feel like they need more support because it's all good when you're playing and you're scoring. What happens when you get injured? What happens when you get benched? People want to be with you when it's all good and you're flying, as we spoke about this. People are, oh, you're doing so good. But what happens when you hit the dumps? And that's why the support and the accountability, like what we want to do is give them the best uplift we can to be able to succeed. Because at the end of the day, they're just humans, yeah?
I love that.
I don't give a shit if they score 2 goals in a game. But it's how they are mentally and how, like, the connection that I've got with them is more important for me than being able for them to get them stronger.
I love that. You're someone, again, you're so passionate about what you do, which is awesome. And it's awesome to see because when you talk about it with with genuine desire and fire, which is
I love it.
the best part, which I love seeing people love what they do, which is good because there's so many people, unfortunately, stuck in jobs or industries that it's just for a paycheck. So you can tell how passionate you truly are. It's been awesome, obviously, having you on because you're, again, provided us with lots of insight as to where things are tracking. And, always got to ask the question, though. Has there ever been, I guess, having the gym in Dandenong, has there ever been anything ever been quite scary?
Look, everyone goes, oh, you're in Dandenong. Do I really have to come to Dandenong? Am I safe? But I'll be honest with you, 14 years, no problems.
Really? Wow.
No
amazing.
problems. No one's. We've had some funny stories like, that you do. Like I had a guy that I was training someone. I saw him walk in. He had a shower and he walked out.
No way.
I checked the cameras and he just did that. He used the towel, one of the boxing rings, wiped himself and walked straight back out. But he didn't take anything.
That's gold.
So like you hear stuff like that. Like there hasn't been any harm, but as you know, man, people will they throw the word out there and, Dandenong, the Bronx, it's shit, it's that.
It's a CBD, that's what it is. It's a mini CBD.
It's a mini CBD, and I'm a little bit on the outskirts of it as well, so it's not right in the hub where the plaza is.
It's home to El Jannah. I don't know if
El Jannah, correct. Yeah, we go there on Tuesday nights after the gym.
Yeah, it's home to El Jannah, which is mad chicken. You got to check it out.
Yeah, if you haven't. I didn't know till Warsaw about 6 months ago. People started talking to me about it.
El Jannah, it's mad. Yeah. We always finish up with three questions at the end of the pod.
Yeah.
And we always like to ask the same guest, season on, season off, we change it up. If you could have dinner with three people, any three people, who would it be and why?
Michael Jordan would be one of them.
Yep.
Jordan will be there.
Saw the sickest painting of him last night.
Did you?
Topic, yeah.
Yeah. Tim Grover will be another one as well. I don't know if you guys.
No.
So Tim Grover wrote the two books, Relentless and Winning.
Okay.
He was the SNC coach with Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, all of them. So he talks about their mindset. I highly recommend you read these books and how they approached life and how they approached their training, kind of like down my alley.
Yep.
That would be probably the top two, I reckon, that I can think of.
Would there be a third at all? I've got to ask.
Been on probably Stephen Bartlett too. The Diary of a CEO. I've been listening to his podcasts.
Yeah.
Lately. He's I went to his show actually last year, and that was very informative. The way he talks and the way he interviews people, and the way he did his show, that was really good.
Biggest inspiration outside of family?
I wouldn't really say I had much inspiration because I built everything through myself, to be honest. So it wasn't really being someone. So I had no choice to either make it work.
Yeah,
because I went against everything that I got told to do. So I was like, fuck, if this doesn't work, man, I'm pretty fucked.
I'm so glad it worked, mate. Ideal retirement destination?
There's different. I could talk about this from a different angles. But like, I love boxing, kickboxing. I used to fighter. Like, I've been to Thailand. Like, there's a strip there. Like, I'd love to be there and be able to train twice a day.
Bangla Road?
No, yeah, right. Yeah. No ifs given. Just train all day. That would be pretty cool.
I never had Thailand, actually.
Yeah, like that's from my training perspective, because it's like such a big part of my DNA.
Yeah.
And I've done it before. I was like, man, how sick would it be to do this like full time and not have a worry in the world? So that would be a pretty cool one. But mate, if you ask me tomorrow, I'll probably tell you a different answer.
Yeah, you've actually given really good answers, to be honest with you. I like it. Kosta, thank you so much for coming on. I really, really appreciate it. It's been a long time in the making. You deserve everything that you do. You've got an incredible business model, and more importantly, you're an incredible person. And the success stories that you've got, please check them out on the story. It's great. If people want to reach out to Kosta, go and see him at the gym, get consultations, etc. This guy is legit. He knows what he's talking about, and he's qualified, which is a big part, more importantly. So he knows exactly what's up, and if you're looking for any advice, please hit him up. Kosta, thank you so much again. Thank you, more importantly, of course, as well, to our sponsors that continue to assist us, Urban Clean & Co, George and Andy from Barbecue Brothers. Thank you so much. And for anybody else out there that wants to potentially jump on, you're more than welcome to. Please shoot us a DM. But as always, continue to like, share, rate, subscribe, and everything else like that, so we continue to bring you more and more episodes that are of great value. For now, we'll leave you to it. Kosta, thank you very much.
Thank you, Dim.